Hey everyone, it's Richard Metal Fan here, bringing you guys an old school album review. And today we're going to be talking about this album's 15-year anniversary. And I'm probably going to get some shit for this, probably not. It's just a nostalgic album for me, especially during like my high school years. And as you can see by the title, today we're going to be talking about Scream Aim Fire by Bullet for My Valentine. This was the band's second album, released on January 28th, 2008 through Jive Records. Now, Bullet for My Valentine, for those of you who aren't aware of, kind of a metalcore band based out of Wales in the UK. I've pretty much first heard of these guys, like I said, during my high school years, first hearing Tears Don't Fall. I pretty much dug them. Mostly, really, it's only like the first two albums, and this, of course, is the band's second album, and this follows up their debut album, The Poison, which was released around 2005, 2006. And with this album, well, The Poison was more just a straight up kind of like metalcore kind of album. But with this album, I feel like Bullet for My Valentine kind of like stepped it up in terms of like the musicianship, and musically, this album is a lot more heavier and has a little bit more kind of like a thrash metal influence, because of course they were influenced by, of course, Metallica, Slayer, and bands like that, like from the 80s. And production wise, I think they really stepped it up. The vocal work on this album is great. Matt Tuck really delivers a great vocally in terms of like his cleans, and his screams are really great. And his guitar playing along with Padge's just really go well. Like both of them really complement each other. The bass on this album, I kind of wish was a little bit audible from J.E. James. He's their former bassist. And drumming-wise, former drummer Moose Thomas does a really great job on this album. So, without further ado, let's dive into this album track by track. Now, starting things off is the title track, Scream, Aim, Fire. And right from the beginning, you could definitely tell that Bullet for My Valentine has changed their styles, especially with that little drum intro. And the guitars here are really faster, especially in like the first 20 seconds. And Matt comes in with less of a scream that he had on The Poison. And some people would say like it kind of has more of a James Hetfield type vocal style, but I disagree. You can definitely hear his Welsh accent is noticeable in this. And as for the rest of the song, it's pretty good. And the chorus right here is the best part, as it doesn't let up throughout. And I feel like the song makes the rest of the album really good and something to look forward to. And next up is Eye of the Storm. Now, this is another kind of like thrash number that maintains the album's sort of momentum while still retaining a sense of melody. And the time changes like throughout the song are really dynamic, and the drum breakdown before the guitar solo, it sounds like it would be a lot fun in a live kind of setting. And then we kind of like slow things down a little bit with the next song, Hearts Burst in the Fire. Now, it has like a really good intro to this, and I feel like the album might prove to be something with this. And lyrically, I kind of feels like, it's hard to describe, like the lyrics aren't like really up my alley here, but cliche to the point of no return. I feel like they're sung with enough sincerity and with the kind of like the emotional kind of like guitar work that the point is almost kind of like mute right here. And then just leads right into the next song, Waking the Demon, which is by far probably the greatest song on the album in my opinion. Has a really great riff on here, and the screamed vocals are really great, and especially like the guitar dual and the one, especially like the bridge of that is great, and just the solo in here is amazing. Another overall, Waking the Demon, another great song. And then we go into Disappear. Now, Disappear, just right from the get-go, doesn't bullshit. It just goes like really fast guitar riffs, and it's a very galloping kind of like metal anthem in here, and just the melody is really effective in this. Moving on to Deliver Us from Evil. Now, this kind of has a little bit of a ballady kind of vibe to it, but still just has that heaviness to it. It's a really solid song. Next song on the album is called Take It Out on Me. Now, this right here incorporates everything that Bullet for My Valentine has. Here, this song features a guest appearance from Benji Webb. He is the lead singer for the other Welsh band Skid and Dread. But I feel like his vocals on this song give a new kind of aspect, and Matt is even at his best during the verses and the chorus too, and the vocals aren't really anything to complain about. The pre-chorus and the chorus are just really awesome, and is like repeated throughout the whole song. And then Benji singing, which almost kind of reminds me a little bit of like Claudio from Coheed and Cambria. And the second verse that leads into the pre-chorus, and the chorus is one of the best parts in this album. And the best part is like 3 minutes, the song kind of slows down and we get like some beautiful vocals from Benji and even Matt, and the drums give like a simple but effective beat, and the guitars are nothing but short of amazing. And then at the 4 minute mark we get like a scream that sort of like leads into a very melodic guitar solo, and then the song finishes off with the pre-chorus and the chorus, and the scream of "Take Your Frustration on Me." It's just really epic. Moving on to Say Goodnight. Now this is another kind of like slower, kind of ballady kind of songs, and it features some really great, beautiful guitar work, from the nice intro to the great solo. And Matt's sort of like mellow singing here is really great. And the lyrics, I feel like, kind of deal with the relationship with someone who is dying and they still need to care for a child, which is a really good song. Moving on to End of Days. Now, End of Days is a really great song, just really thrashy, makes you want to bang your head, and just really great vocals from the screaming and the singing. And then we get to Last to Know. Now this is another one of my favorite songs from this disc, and I really like the screams in here, and the clean vocals really rule, and I think the drumming on this song is really solid. And then we close things out with Forever and Always, which I believe is the longest song that they've done on here. It's about 6 minutes or so. Oh, really just catchy. I don't know, it's just a really fun song in my opinion. And right here I actually have is the deluxe edition. I want to talk about like the 4 kind of bonus tracks that are on here. The one song I want to talk about is probably another underrated deep cut from Bullet for My Valentine, which is the song Road to Nowhere. It's pretty much mostly acoustic, and it's just a really lyrically a great song. I feel like lyrically it talks about just feeling like you're stuck somewhere and you feel like you just don't know where to go to, and also lyrically talking about like being sick of saying goodbyes because to somebody that you love, and it just tears you apart. It's just mostly acoustic until then the electric guitars come in and then drumming, and it's just really much that way throughout the rest of the song. And I think it's just a really amazing song, and I really wish that they could play that song live. Moving on to Watching Us Die Tonight, another good song, really very mid-paced song, really sick drumming and really great guitar work. One good reason why, a pretty solid song, and I should say. And then we close things out with Ashes of the Innocent, which in my opinion is probably the heaviest song that Bullet for My Valentine has. Starts off right from the get-go, from the screaming guitars and the fast-paced drumming. And there's really just singing mostly in like the chorus, but that just a full-on just ass kicker of a song. Overall, Scream and Fire by Bullet for My Valentine, really great album, classic in my opinion. I feel like this is pretty much where Bullet for My Valentine were at their peak. So if I have to give this album a score, I'm going to give this album a solid 10 out of 10. It's just amazingly good. So yeah, that's my review of the album, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about it, and I'll see you all in the next video. And as always, keep it metal.